Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us today for Deliver a Personalized On-Site Experience with RevLifter, Pepperjam's integrated partner. I'm Katie Spurkland, Senior Product Marketing Manager at Pepperjam, and I'm joined today by Jim Harriman, North American General Manager at RevLifter. Thanks for joining us, Jim.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Katie.
Just as a heads up, we'll be recording this and we'll make the recording available to everyone afterwards. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, you can just share them in the questions tab on your GoToWebinar toolbar. I'm going to kick it over to Jim for a live demo of RevLifter.
All right. Thank you again, Katie, for the introduction. And thank you for everybody who's taken the time out of their day to dial in and join. I hope everybody is home and safe and healthy in the crazy scenario that we're all in. And if you have kids, I hope you're surviving with them as well. I will say, if you hear mine come running into the room, there's nothing I can do about it. I gave up. So just enjoy the background noise. As Katie said, I am the General Manager of RevLifter for North America. And for those of you who aren't familiar about who we are and what we do, we are an e-commerce personalization technology company that ideally, helps retailers personalize content and incentives on their site for consumers in real time in a way that maximizes the value of the customer for the brand, but also for the customer, maximizes the value of the brand to them and really helps build better one-to-one relationships and improve customer loyalty. We recently teamed up with Pepperjam's Ascend platform, a really exciting partnership that I'm extremely happy that we did. It was a project that's a year in the making, and we launched the partnership earlier this year with Katie and members of her team. And the reason why we did this is really to make partnerships with technology platforms like ours much easier for advertisers. So historically speaking, if you wanted to work with RevLifter and you wanted us to deliver personalized content to customers on your domain, we would require that the brand place our tag on the brand's website. Now, as many of you know, you have a Pepperjam tag on your website already. So what we decided to do with Pepperjam is integrate our technology with their platform. And by doing that, by integrating our tech into the Ascend tag, Pepperjam clients no longer need to integrate RevLifter technology into their site. Our technology can actually be activated and controlled by Pepperjam directly. And so this is a massive, I think, competitive differentiator for Pepperjam and RevLifter. It allows for, of course, much more scalability, more revenue for our partners and for Pepperjam's partners. And of course, more options just with technology partners across the board, even above and beyond RevLifter. So it's a really great thing that Pepperjam is doing this. And again, we're really excited that we've been able to partner with them in this capacity. So a little bit of background on RevLifter, who we are and where we came from. We launched back in 2017 in London. We do have an office in Atlanta, which is where I'm located, and we have a number of remote employees across the United States, some out on the West Coast, and we have about 25 employees in our London office. We're currently operating in about 7 markets around the world. We have close to about 100 clients now. I know the slide says 90, but it's closer to about 100 clients worldwide. And over the past 2.5 years, going on 3 years, we've won about 13 industry awards from networks and partnerships, which we're really pleased with. Our team has worked hard for a lot of our clients, and many of our clients have nominated us for these awards. So it's really a way that lets us know that what we're doing in the industry is working, it's making a difference, and it's helping grow advertisers' programs and hopefully bringing value to customers as well. So the products that we typically talk about just for exploratory conversations consist of RevConvert, which is really on-site and in-cart personalization and relevancy, and RevPage, which is more of a personalized content page or a personalized offers page. So it's a dedicated page on the brand domain that's updated based on things like who the customer is, where they're located, maybe even what products they've added to the shopping cart. Both of these are completely independent products from one another. So you don't have to run both these on your site simultaneously. You can run one versus the other, one or the other. But for conversation purposes, I'll go through some examples as if they're both running, just so everyone has a good idea of the end-to-end solution and what our technology essentially looks like. At the end of the presentation as well, I have a couple of sites I'll pull up so you can see it in I guess real time, and a couple of videos I'll show you as well that kind of go above and beyond our out of the box solution, just to give you again a general idea of what our technology can do and how flexible it can be. So a scenario that I am sure everyone on the phone is very, very familiar with: customers add products to the shopping cart or services. They leave, they go to Google, they search for some type of trademark plus term, and inevitably they usually land on a more traditional affiliate site. And so the disconnect that we feel exists there at RevLifter is that publisher has no idea the customer just left the shopping cart. They don't know what products or services you added to the shopping cart. So the content on the page might be irrelevant based on what the customer is shopping for. It might be invalid content, expired. It could be user-generated content meant for other channels. And then you have the dynamic, of course, where publishers want customers to shop through them in the future directly versus through the brand directly. And this is not in any way to marginalize the affiliate channel or traditional publisher partnerships in any way, shape, or form. I've been in the space for 14 years. Strongly feel that there's a lot of value in publishers of all types and all verticals. But there are some customers that we feel if they're on the brand's website, the brand should have the opportunity to engage with that customer first, try to deliver value for that customer directly on their site and build that one-to-one relationship. And if the brand isn't able to do it, then that's where and why it's important to have really strong relationships with your publishers, so the publisher can hopefully kind of salvage that partnership and that relationship for you. So imagine if your basket had some intelligence behind it, behind the scenes, that could engage your customer in a way that reduces their desire to leave in the first place. And sometimes this is simply by suggesting something extra at the right time and in the right way. And by right way, I mean relevant way, but also in a way that's aligned with the brand's goals and objectives. So that can be increasing basket size, improving conversion rate, extending bookings or hotel stays, whatever the case may be, but also in a way or by way of doing all of this, you end up creating a better relationship between the brand and the customer, right? Because they feel they're getting value directly from you, and their need to leave and look elsewhere for that value tends to diminish pretty drastically, and they feel that the best place to get that value is directly with the customer. And so the screenshot that you're seeing here is actually one of our most basic engagements, but in all honesty, it's one of our better performing engagements as well. Sometimes keeping it simple is the way to go. And what we did is if a customer was shopping and they were within a certain part of the country, so I believe we were targeting the Northeast at this point in time, and if they added a certain type of product to the shopping cart, we would show this little button. This little button down here that says click here to see your offer is actually our technology kicking in. If the customer clicked on the button, a little shadow box would show up that would encourage them to upgrade to a better bundle. But in exchange for increasing the purchase price of the product, they were going to get a small discount. I believe it was about 10% off. And we saw a massive spike in conversion rate, engaging the right types of customers in certain areas with just a simple little tactic. And we can use this technology to do any number of things. It doesn't have to be, in this example, what we call a stretch and save offer. It can be an email acquisition. It can be engaging a customer to sign up for a credit card or a loyalty program, or really anything that you're trying to get the customer to do. The key thing to keep in mind is everything is very targeted. So we don't engage every single customer for every single transaction. We really want to get to understand your products, your brand, your goals, your objectives, and then create rules on the back end to accommodate what those goals and objectives are, and only engage those customers when and where it makes sense. Now, taking a step back and talking a little bit more about the RevPage product. So what we just saw was RevConvert. So RevPage is a scenario in which a customer either doesn't engage with our technology in the shopping cart, or maybe let's assume for whatever reason they don't meet the criteria, so they don't see our technology at all. And that customer decides to leave and go to Google and search for some type of trademark plus term after all. What RevPage is the page that lives in the search results, and the page itself is on the brand domain. The content of that page is powered by our technology. And so when a customer leaves the cart and searches for a trademark plus term, what we suggest that brands do is they drive traffic via PPC to the page our technology is powering. And the content on that page is going to be dynamically updated based on who the customer is, where they're located, what they were shopping for, most notably what they added to the shopping cart. And we're always going to try to get the customer to do a little bit more. So if they have, in this case, maybe one system in their shopping cart, we might feature it here, but we might show some alternative systems that might be better options to try to get the customer to maybe upgrade. Also, if there is messaging in the cart that the customer saw that maybe was promotional related or some form of value statement, anything along those lines, we can reinforce that messaging here on this page as well. So the customer has a very consistent experience across their shopping journey. And when we benchmark the performance of this page against pages that brands were previously driving traffic to on their domain, we see conversion rate and average order value upwards of 30% higher. So we basically take pages that weren't really working for the brand, and we ultimately monetize them, and we turn them into a page that can now be viewed as a revenue generating opportunity. To work with us from a commercial standpoint, very, very simple. We work on a CPA through the Pepperjam platform. There are fixed fee options if that is preferred by the brand. We can absolutely explore fixed fee pricing, but typically we operate on CPA. Yep. No partnership fees, and that. Try to keep it very more possible and really try to have any commitment outside of this. Well, try to do we let at least 12 follow that. If the some parts which is really just kind of work and things of that nature. I was on the same page. There's stuff that we're working on that's a little outside of this block. The onboarding process is very, very simple. Typically, before a kickoff call, we'll speak with in some instances, if the advertiser is agency managed, we show them what we can do and how we can do it. We talk about the program. For then we'll a strategy call or kickoff call with our launch team. Team direct to get the tag activated to the platform. All the time, before anyone strategy, and then once everybody's in the game plan, we launch with partnership. Everything is tracked through the meeting with Brett Page, make sure that it's available to attending, by the way. So some benefits to working with Ford and the Pepperjam text. So there's no need on customer. If you're good to the customer, re-engage with the customer. That's, of course, a big differentiator. Working with us versus working with more traditional publishers where everything is kind of third party in that scenario. As it relates to the RevPage product, the product that lives in the search results, because that is a first party page, meaning again, it's on your domain, that page is on your domain, it's just powered by our technology. That page over time will organically rank in Google. So if brands are bidding on that page and they want to pause for a while, they can pause, and as long as their page is organically ranking there, they're still going to get traffic from it and still going to see revenue from that page. That page is also tied to the shopping cart. So again, any content on the page can be dynamically updated based on what's in the cart to make the experience as relevant as possible to the customer. And we can host pages in the event that a brand isn't able to allocate a URL to us to power. We can host a page on a subdomain. That page will still be able to see what's in the shopping cart because of the tag that's in the cart itself. The downside to that is it won't be first party, and our subdomain will likely not be organically ranked by Google. So traffic will need to be driven to that page via PPC SEM campaign. So it's really the only downside, but it is a good option in the event a brand isn't able to dedicate a URL. And Rev converts and benefits there. Again, everything's first party native, and what I was told by a number of our clients, and I like the term that they use, is surgical. That we don't cast a wide net to try to engage and touch as many customers as possible, where we take a very surgical approach and we target customers that are most relevant to engage with what the brand has to offer. We want to keep the customer engaged as long as humanly possible by reducing their desire to leave. I don't want to confuse this with shopping cart abandonment, traditional abandonment solutions that throw up some type of shadow box or pop up if somebody is showing exit intent, meaning they hover their mouse over the back button or the navigation bar or the X. Our technology can do that if a brand wants to do that, but we consider ourselves more of a personalization technology. We want to engage the customer in a relevant way. And if we are giving them offers or presenting to them content and value statements, we want to make sure that it's as relevant to what they're doing as possible, as opposed to standard kind of exit messaging. And if we are going to re-engage that customer, sometimes we feel it's smarter to re-engage that customer organically through search with that RevPage product. And at the end of the day, the technology, whether it's RevConvert, RevPage, or both technologies combined, we have case study after case study that has proven that the approach and the technology can increase conversion rate, average order value, and customer loyalty. And some of the campaigns, some of the more common campaigns that brands want to take advantage of, I threw in here down in the last bullet point, which is inclusive of stretch and save offers, driving to credit card programs if a brand has its own credit card, driving for email, loyalty programs, gift cards, I should say gift cards, and really anything else that a brand wants to do. If a brand, especially now, is trying to drive traffic or customers to help raise money or funds for charitable donations or some form of philanthropic effort, it's around the coronavirus, anything along those lines, we can help engage customers at certain times to, if nothing else, give them a PSA, a public service announcement, and let them know, how shopping through their brand is helping maybe people in local communities and things of that nature, or even potentially try to get people to donate extra themselves. So it's very flexible technology. And so real quickly here, I'm going to jump into some examples. So I'm going to pop out of presentation mode here, if it lets me. Here we go. These are very, very quick and very basic examples. This is a page that we just launched with Sam's Club. So this is a Rev page product. And again, you kind of have to imagine somebody is adding a product or a service to a shopping cart. They go to Google, and they might search for Sam's Club offer, deal, coupon, whatever the case may be. And what they'll find in the search results is this page. Now, one of the reasons why I'm showing you this is what we consider a light integration, which isn't very common through Pepperjam because we already have the tag installed. But I do want to show everybody kind of all variations of what it is we do. And by light integration, I mean we actually don't have a tag on Sam's Club's shopping cart on their domain. This is a subdomain that they wanted us to host for them. It's white labeled, of course. But what we are doing with this page is geo-targeting based on location and targeting based on search terms used and things of that nature to try to, again, make the page a little bit more dynamic and relevant to the customer. And again, there are rules on the back end that dictate, what offers are displayed, if offers are displayed, and everything that we do is aligned with the brand's goals and objectives. So in this case, they're really trying to push more memberships. So that's kind of why the top half of this page is a little bit more content focused than it is offer focused. The full version of the HP example that you saw in the presentation, this is on HP's domain, and we're integrated with their shopping cart. This is their offers page and coupon page, and it is much more, as you can tell, strictly kind of a coupon page, right? Because HP does offer discount codes and coupons and things of that nature. And if somebody, for example, has a gaming system in their shopping cart, and they were to leave, go to Google, search for HP offers, and come back, they wouldn't see a page with home products. They would come back, and this page would dynamically update to gaming products and call out any gaming opportunities that might be relevant to the customer. This is an example of RevConvert in a shopping cart with Scotia. So what they wanted us to do, a very, very basic engagement, as you might be able to see here, this little button is us, and if certain products at a certain price point are added to the shopping cart, this little button will show up for the customer. And if they click on it, we always want to, I shouldn't say always, but we tend to prefer engaging the customer if there's some type of affirmative action, meaning the customer takes action to invite, a window or messaging instead of just throwing something up on their screen without them eliciting it. So in this case, they want to try to get customers to buy 2 boom bottle speakers as opposed to just 1. And so if they see that certain model numbers are in their cart, this little window pops up and gives them the opportunity to buy a second one at half price. But we also want to make them aware of other types of offers as well. So this is kind of a nice little widget that we have where we can build out other relevant products in here as well. So just to give you some idea that everything that we do is kind of custom. We don't have very many templated approaches. This is a video that I wanted to share that is, again, a little bit outside of the box, but I just want to show you the flexibility of our technology. It's with HP again, and what we're showing here is encouraging people to upgrade their computer. So this is on the site itself, not in the basket. And this little boost and save widget is us right here, and this little box over here is us. And so in this scenario, the brand might be getting manufacturer funding from, let's say, Intel, just the upgrade of certain components at the top. And so HP might request us to, get us to figure out how to here showing up in the video. CY, that little modal opens up, and information about particular product is displayed to the customer. Then from there, the customer, if to claim their savings, they'll click on it, claim your $63 savings, click code to the checkout, and they so pretty basic and straightforward. And I'm going to show you one more video, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. I want to show you this video primarily because it is a combination of no discount code and product recommendation. We're obviously doing a lot with HP, and I'm showing these examples. The HP Canada team here asked if we could try to get customers to buy high-yielding cartridges. Customers were buying the less expensive low-yielding cartridges, meaning the pages printed or the cartridges printed less pages. And no matter what HP did, they were having problems getting customers to upgrade. And so what we did is if we saw somebody add a low yield ink cartridge to the shopping cart, this little window here is us. We just confirm with the customer, hey, you've added this product to your shopping cart. But then dynamically, we look in the product data feed to see if there are any matching high yield part numbers. If there are, we display them in the shadow box, and we calculate a savings statement for the customer to see immediately, and really just present to the customer, hey, based on the product that you purchased or you're purchasing, you're really not getting the best value. Are you sure you want to purchase this, or do you want to replace the item in your cart with this better item? And within this widget itself, we can dynamically swap out the lower value item in the cart with the higher value item in the cart, so we don't have to send the customer back to add another product, remove this one, and then check out. So the name of the game there, obviously, is to minimize any disruption whatsoever in the checkout flow. Because anytime you add extra pages or extra steps, we generate tank. And that is about it.
Yes, thanks for sharing. It doesn't look like there's any questions in the chat functionality yet, but while you guys chime in, just to see if you do have any questions. As a reminder, if you are currently an Ascend brand and you're interested in getting started with RevLifter, you can reach out to your account team. And if you're joining us as a potential Ascend brand today, you can reach out to customermarketing@pepperjam.com, and we can get your questions answered. So Jim, thanks for sharing all of those opportunities. It's really cool to see what RevLifter can do in terms of personalization and keeping the marketers in control of the buyer journey. And I think that these are really great initiatives that you can implement anytime, of course, but specifically now that brands are trying to navigate sort of the uncertainty. There's opportunity here.
Yeah, and actually that's a really good point. If there are brands that are having struggles due to COVID-19, definitely reach out and let us know. We want to see if there's any way that we can help. Specifically, help your customers, of course, but also help you and help the brand itself. And I should also note that we are, although I didn't have any examples in this presentation yet, we are rolling out a 2.0 version of our platform in the coming weeks. I think we're probably about 3 weeks out. And so there'll be additional insights and reporting available to partners, as well as a dashboard of their own that they can log into should they have the need or the desire to kind of go in and modify their own rules and things of that nature. You don't have to necessarily rely on account teams on our side to do that information for you, or do those activities for you. So more information to come for anyone that is interested. When that is available, feel free to just, again, email me or your PJ team, and when that information is available, I can send it out and let you know what the enhancements and new products are.
Cool. It doesn't look like any questions came in, so you must have covered it all.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. Again, stay safe. Katie, Sean, thank you both for facilitating this meeting. As always, it's a pleasure, and looking forward to chatting with some folks that may have joined.
Perfect. Thanks, Jim, and thanks everyone for joining. Have a good day.
See ya.